Morning, everybody. All right, team. All right, we're live on Discord, live on YouTube. We're lit. All right, first day in the stream. Okay, hopefully we can get some today then. What was I gonna say? Yeah, chat, we got some news today. We have ISM services PMI, which is coming out at I think 10 a.m. So Joe's job openings, ISM services PMI, new home sales. You have a bunch of stuff coming up for 10, which is in about basically 2 hours. And yeah, I think that's all you got for today. So until FOMC, I guess we're just gonna be, or not FOMC, until news comes out at 10. We'll see where price is at, and we'll see what we can do to them. Someone said earlier, might be an early trade today, so I was hoping as you open the charts, we'll have some volume. But what the fuck are you talking about? Might be an early trade today. This looks like it might be a late trade today. This does not look like an early trade today. But hopefully not too late. I think yesterday wasn't too bad here. Yesterday the volume came in at around like 8. So yeah, we'll see with where price is at, what we can do today. Hopefully it just picks up though. I think the last set of volume that you had was during Asian last night at 1 a.m. It looks like this was the move coming down. So that was yeah, like a 1,000 pip pop within, well actually no, not all at one, but Asian league into like early London, right? So that was pretty nice, all the way up until 6. So yeah, I think, wait, I'm tripping. This is not even, that was last week. Let's go back to yesterday over here. Yeah, so around I think 11 a.m. yesterday. Yeah, so nothing since and late NY yesterday then, by the looks of it. Kind of just moved during late NY yesterday all the way down to 12. It made its way down towards 4,500 and then rejected off there and just continued to range since. Like, you haven't had much volume since, right? You've moved up, like you pushed up 630 pips, but like what's here to tell you that it's not gonna just correct the move? Like, what are the chances of you correcting the idea? So off bat, we're already having an idea, right? If you notice that, oh, okay, markets are moving up pretty slow here, how fast could this correction be? Right, so this took how long? Like 40 candles to make its way up. That's pretty slow in terms of volume. So what are the odds that we get a correction that's a lot quicker? And if you don't get a correction, what if you get a higher low? All of a sudden you're already thinking like, oh shit, we're in like a range cycle. So off the bat, already thinking about wick entry sells. Perfect, you're going up right now. So You can literally get ideas as you make your way up. And you don't gotta be too aggressive, I think, with these days, because when it comes to the wick entries, you don't gotta be too precise with the zones, just because of like where we've been sitting, right? Especially if you get your first set of volume, you haven't had that yet. So like the chances of direction coming this early is gonna be very low, which means that wick entry sells are more bad to play out, because I think buys or sells in these situations. Well, I think I would take preferably sells, wick entry sells, but just for the idea that if you were to, where am I zoom at? I need these drawings real quick. So like just for the idea that, oh, okay, if you were to make your way down, it would just come down within one candle, right? If it makes its way down, it'll come down within like a 1-2 pop or a couple candles, right? But usually when this is this low, the correction will be a bit quicker. So we don't know if it's going to correct yet, but we know that if you were to go up though, we're still at the very early stages. Like this is the first pullback you've had since that move yesterday, right? And that move yesterday was pretty steep yesterday during the NY and like London and all of that. So if you were to get a push out, you won't just also come up like this, right? You'll probably see, like, if it were to come up, you see a push up, right? You'll see like some higher lows. You might get structure, you might get like just an overall low. Right, but you'll get some type of structure, right? Even if it's not that, like you'll get a higher low or some. And then like this will make a lot more sense to continue driving, right? And even if that drives, you're likely will get a little more structure than that, to be honest with you. But that's your idea. It's like even if you were to drive up, you'll get structure. And if this move coming up was very slow, chance of you getting correction here is very high. So all you gotta do now is make your way back into I think you're looking at probably minor zones to be around like here. So from where you are down in here is like a 204 pip range. So you're not gonna attempt like a crazy runner for a reversal or like a wick entry sell either. You can literally get an idea coming down towards like 45.50, 45.40, right? Because that's your minimum requirement before going up or anything. But that's your higher low. So that's a pretty solid idea off bat. Like that's one of the few ideas that I can think of right now. Let's see what else we can do here, but I think that's pretty straightforward. You got some zones like right around here at 45.77. So you got some zones going across, all the way across. You can go from here 45.78. And then you got your next support zone, like roughly, what is this, around here? I think we could probably mark this up as like a minor support, 45.58. So that's gonna be around here. 45.58. And then you got ranges up towards 45.78. So yeah, wick entries could literally be within this area. It doesn't have to be at 78. It could be within that range. And then that's what, let's say we get something here. This would be 130. Yeah, you got some nice runner areas there. And you got more zones on the way down. So if you were the range you're in, I'll say overall could be more likely here. I think same range as yesterday. I think we had the same exact zone. So that's like 45.78. And then this right here is going to be 44.95. I think right there seems about right. Cool. And then that's basically it. Let's see. So could you get a continuation of a push up here towards 45.71. If so, could we get wick entry ideas like this early in the day? It looks like there's a high chance we can get something earlier. So whoever said early trade today is correct, actually. Is correct. What's up, Boston CEO? What's up, Reggie? What's up, Penzum? What is that? 1 hour leg candle. Where is that? Oh, this one. This one right here. Yeah, pretty valid. 98 pips. 100 pips. Let's see. Can we get a continuation here? I know we didn't have. I gotta mark up these zones real quick though. Let's see. 45.78, 44.95. $45, 4559, 497. $497. Yeah, let's see. Can you get a, if you get a break of these highs, I'm assuming it could be between like 7.3 and 7.2. Could be the wick entry areas. But you gotta get a re-break of this 45.67 zone. You have a leg count of 15, so hopefully not this push down. Right, you gonna ask for a wrench? I don't even see you here every day. How you gonna ask for a wrench? Last time you were on this stream was last Monday. How am I gonna give you a wrench? What would it be, lots and stops? Let's see, if we get an early entry. What do we have yesterday? 75? I think same as yesterday then. 75, 76. Maybe here. Maybe 1800 pips. Maybe 47.56. So a little lower. A little lower, but same area. Well, I can't just take your word for that, you know. Anyone could be here, you know. Especially asking for a mod row, like, how's that gonna work though? If I can't tell that you're like always here. How's that gonna work? Like, anyone can say that. Oh, I've been here every day. I just don't type. All right, cool. Like, you know, how would I know? Tomorrow's your day. DVSL2 coming. Okay. Let's go, man. I'll see you in there tomorrow. Nav, man, what's up? You're not trading today? Okay, making our way up here, guys. Yo, we might get something here. Chat, get ready. Almost there. 7.2. Get ready. I think 1800 pips, 0.05 is pretty fair. Can we get? I just be ready for the re-break of this high. Once you re-break the highs, get ready for the wick entry ideas. Okay. Almost. One more pop. I think like 70, 72, 71 zones. Like you're right there. So it's gonna be an early trade by the looks of it. One more break, we get a pop. And I think BEs will be roughly, depending where we enter, but roughly here. Trail stop, sorry, below. I think we'll attempt the flip as a, maybe a little more in the flip. We'll attempt something like here for a TP, but it's be ready to trail on the way down. So if it doesn't come up towards 72 within a pop, and let's say you get some retracements here, well, move the zone up. All right, I don't know how steep we'll move it tonight. I think the next zone above 7.2 is going to be, you know what, I think we'll leave it, because I think we're looking to get in between like 70 right now, 70.48. So if it pulls back prior, we'll move out towards 7.2, maybe 7.3. That's all I see here next, like maybe like around these areas. Could be something, 74, 75, if it's not 7.2. That wasn't too bad. That was like a retracement, but wasn't anything too crazy of a retracement. You want to see this fly up here. Let's see, could this be it? At least 30 more pips there. We're looking for buys just tuning in. No, wick entry sells. Wick entry sells, so just to form a higher low. You don't have one yet. Get ready here, YouTube. Especially if you're like on YouTube, there might be a little delay for you. Bullish move strong. How you know it's gonna switch direction? That's the thing. It's, oh, there it is. Wick entry sells right there, chat. It's not gonna, we're not looking for a switch of direction. We're looking for a higher low in order to go up or to start a switch of direction. So we don't know if it's gonna be a switch of direction, but there's a high chance you'll get a higher low in the overall structure here in order to continue going up. And if you do get a switch of structure, then we're on the right side. But higher low, the idea is like, what's the next part of a cycle, right? So you're expecting like higher lows to occur. So then we just have like a bunch of BEs and like trail stop zones on the way down. So next zones are like right here. BEs are like, I'll say, what is this? Could this be a good BE? Maybe a little lower around here. This can be a pretty good BE here. 67, 95, I think will be like 250 in profit there, or 25 pips in profit, not 250. Next zone below there is like right here for 6.6. I think that's gonna be our trail area. And I think TP will probably just attempt to flip the 1 hour flip. So it's like roughly 100 pips in the area. But yeah, not like expecting reversal, right? Like what we broke down this morning was just like looking at price here. Like if you were to really make your way up here, there hasn't been really any liquidity yet. So you're expecting to create that higher low if you are to go up. We don't know if it's gonna go up yet, right? Because this is overall, technically it's still bearish from these moves prior. So this could still be continuation to retest the lows, right? But either way, you're gonna get a movement down before going up, or you'll get just a movement down, right, without going up. But that's the idea. It's like, even if you are bullish here, likely you are to get like some structure before making your way up. That's just what's missing on the small time from here, right? So yeah, entries were right when we spiked up. So it wasn't exactly 7.2. I think it was more 70.48. Just be mindful, chat, of the BE zones. And then the rest should be pretty chill. Spreads are pretty tight on the way up too, so that's pretty good. Did the thing send? Yeah, it did send. You wouldn't run this strategy. Well, this is the 1 hour time frame that we took it based off of wick entry sells. So 1 hour time frame wick entry sells is 1 hour time frame 85, 235, wick entries 91, and then liquidity, which is 87. So 87, 91, and 85 is 86, 87% on this move. Yep, around there, 86, 87. If you combine the 1, the wick entry, and liquidity. I would assume this is gonna be a lot more volatile. You get a correction. If it's a very slow move down, maybe runners, but let's see. What else is there? After this becomes like, I think 82. Yeah, I think if you continue making your way up here, you're looking at 82, which is like these areas up here, 82, 78. And then that could be another reaction zone, right? I think you're still like way above the previous support though. Previous support zones are more so of like 68 and 64. So you still have that advantage point there. What's up, Jack? I was kind of lucky, right? When the spike we entered, it did pull back. Yeah, it was a weak pullback there, in 20 pip pullback. I think the only thing that's gonna be a little tough to break if you come down is like 68. So that's our BE zone. So we'll be BE there, right? But if you can break that, I think that's when we'll start trailing. It's just that. Just be careful, 68. Our BE zone. Spreads are not that tight on the way down here. Let's see if this picks up in volume. 30-minute closure. 30-minute has no top wick. 30-minute leg candle potentially too. Nice. Yeah, if we can get a runner, man. Just 68. That's the hardest thing to break right here, right? That BE zone. So just be cautious there. If you can flip here, I'm pretty sure this will come down towards BE. Not yet. And then yeah, trail stops like right below. All right, chat. So that is BE. Move stops to BE as you tap 68. I think this is the toughest level to break here. If you can break through here, runners begin. But this is going to be the awkward area for a bit. I think trail stops next is going to be right here. So we'll trail towards here next once we come down towards here. I think 16 pips, or no, this would be 20 pips in profit trailed. All right, so trail that, 20 pips in profit. We tap that next zone, and no runner. I had a feeling we'll get no runner here, just because like this wasn't like a volatile move. Like this is more so of just like, because we're not looking for a breakout here. Like we don't need much volume. It's more so just like looking at price here, like straight up. You just need a bottom wick, right? You need liquidity, you need structure, and the way it's going up is going up very slow. You did have a little bit of volume to spike up, but that's the first spike. That's the very first spike you've had today. You haven't had a spike like that since like of the NY session, right? So first spike of a day doesn't mean that you have volume here. It just means that it maybe just started to move. So like I said earlier, like buys or sells, I think in these situations would be valid because you're more so ranging market, right? But also you're going up in a ranging market, so higher chance that you can get like a higher low before going up, or you can get a continuation down. But yeah, we got, I think nothing too crazy there. We got 22 pips. Wow, we actually got more than I expected. 22 pips. I think that's, what we at yesterday? 50, 1%. Today, 22, maybe like 0.65%. Let's see. What do we got there? It's $11. So that is going to be, and that was an early trade too. I think that's the earliest we've had. $11.44. So not bad. 1.50%. I think maybe already ahead of last week. So yeah. First trade of the day. I think still early. You don't have direction yet. You don't have volume yet. You just have higher lows, which could lead to direction, right? Or lead to liquidity, range liquidity next. But that's where we're in right now. We're in like that range cycle. So don't expect, you know, direction until later. Understand, chat? Y'all understand that trade? That we trade? What percent do you guys got? I didn't see what lot size we used. Still got 20 pips. We got 70 pips. Yeah, I think stops are 1800. So I had to use a 0.5. Maybe we could have used a smaller one actually. But yeah, 0.5 was mine. Stops were up at what did I say earlier? Somewhere up here. It was like somewhere, it was like here between, it was like 47, 45 stops, and then management areas for us were more so above like 46, 44 if you were making your way up above there. So yeah, but stops being like massive, like our lots have to be much like smaller, right? Based on how big they are. All right, lit. So back to 24. We made the withdrawal yesterday, or this morning actually. I made that like right before stream because I forgot for April. That was my 30% of profits for April. All right, I'm gonna journal this out, and then we'll come back and we'll see what else we can do today, because I think there's a long day ahead. All right, news is at 10, so we still got a shit ton of time. What's up, Richie? Cookie's been asking about you. I don't know if he's here today though. We actually all been asking about you. Where you been? We're in cells, liquidity, wick entries. What do you get there? I think 1 hour. I'll put the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, I'll put the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame full, and that was 22. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, that was really early. 8:24, man. That's like, I think that was the earliest trade we've had on this stream since we came back. Bias today? What's my bias? I'll put more so bearish. Four? Did I use the 4? One. I think the small time for help to read it. I think 5. 5 is what I saw it on initially. Or 30. 5 or 30 both works. Let's put both. 5 and 30. 5:31 in the minute. The minute is always used for management. What else we got? 0.05 lap. And then that was profit 11 pips, 22 drawdown. There was a bit of drawdown there right away. 41 pips. Max peaked 35. Trail stop loss hit. Trail stop loss hit. Scenario would have been trail stop loss if we didn't close, or if we didn't, or yeah, that would have been a scenario, I think. Just trail stops. That's what we did. And yeah, that's it. So that is both journals. And then now we come back and we see what's up next, right? So cool. What percentage do you risk? I think right now we're risking like 25% per trade. 25% hard stop, so hard stops. Like, so the stop that you saw, 1800 pips, I think that would have been 25%. If we managed, you're looking at we would have managed above here, so around 700 pips. So I think that would have been maybe, I don't know, 10%, some of that around there, 10%. I think around there. You got 1%, nice. Yeah. Yup. So early trade, and we'll still get another one. I know, like, before we haven't, right? But we actually do sit around for second trades. It's just like, so they don't always come, right? I think the last time we had a double trade was maybe last month, so that wasn't too far off. I was also noticing too, like the spreads on the way up and then on the way down too are very slow. Like even I think tying up a little bit here, so it could be picking up in volume. But early when it was going up, I was like, oh, it's going up, like when it spiked, but it wasn't like really consistently going up. It was just like one spike out of the blue to start off the volume, and then you need a bunch more of that, and then you kind of need that to pick up. Yeah, a lot more volume. Are you shadow banned? I don't know. Someone asked me that, but I don't think so. I don't know. From my end, I'm not, but it might be because I searched myself up on my other account. Try maybe try incognito mode. Maybe that'll work. All right. What's the weather today? You have a trade now? We just have one. We just finished off. We're just waiting for more opportunities now. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see when the volume arrives. I think the second trade of the day likely will be more directional. So just imagine like yesterday's trade for the second trade is something we'll more look for, because the first trade in this cycle is like a lot slower, right? It's not a directional trade. It doesn't give you direction. It's just kind of like within the ranges you're expecting, just a higher low. It doesn't require much for that. That's just like a pullback, right? But for like something more directional, you want to be ready for that one as well. Trade's taken. True. .44%. $22 pips. Market's been really slow for April. What's up, Bimisum? April? Yeah, April's a little slow. I think if you survive April though, you should be good for May. If you didn't survive April, then you will regret it for May. Because May is when, or not necessarily always May, but what the last 2 weeks of April showed you that May likely will be more volatile, a lot more cleaner in volume and consistency. So, you know, if you were to ask me what would I rather trade, I would prefer trading these conditions than April, right? April is very like rangy to start off. Yeah, we're live every day, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. East. Yo, Jaya, you gotta. Yeah, we have newsletter 10 a.m. ISM. So still an hour and 15. Green tea. Hanzo, you drinking green tea now? Damn, no more energy drink. Is that the real Richie? So I swear this is not the real Richie. What did April do that gave you the idea of May more volatile? Just the last 2 weeks, it was just picking up. To start off April, it was very unclear on where it was going, and then you got volatility starting like maybe last like I say 7 days, last 10 to 7 days of April, you started to actually pick up in volume. So which means that you're also starting to break out that range too. Hold on, where is it? So this is April, right? You can see April right here. Start off around here. This is your April, right? For the most part. And then like end of April, look when you started to break out. End of April. Now that breakout doesn't mean direction. You're not gonna get direction off of this move yet, right? You then got a pullback. Now you're retesting the lows. So like you're that much closer now to getting an actual directional push, because now you actually have a bit of structure, right? But think about it as this, like before, if you're in a range, what's next? Liquidity, right? It's drive range liquidity. So after range is like liquidity, you need liquidity to move, right? If this is liquidity, then now price has a decision to make. It can now either come back up, which is very likely to continue to move up, and that will be your directional move for May. Or you could, maybe even June, or you could create a lower high, reject off these zones, make your way down to the bottom of the range. That is also something else that can happen too. But you are out of the range, which means that this is like, whatever this is will be liquidity, right? You can also get a double fake out too. That's also possible. If you come up, you got another fake out back into the range. That's like your double fake out. You have one here, you have one here, right? We don't know what's gonna happen, but we know, like, in terms of market cycles, like, something else is coming. But you can't expect something else to come when you're in this range here, because it's just like range. Like, you know that you need to break out before getting like volume and direction and all of that. You know what I mean? So like, instead of thinking of like, you know, where price can go up or down, think of like, what's next? Like, range, drive, liquidity. After drive, you should have a range, slow down, then you have liquidity to continue moving. That's how I think about it. So that's what tells me when you're gonna get volume, you know, when you're not, off of those conditions. Yo, is this, what language is that? What do you mean not real, bro? I don't know. It just seems like a clone. Like, it just feels like a clone. Just joined. I missed something. Nah, you just woke up. You don't miss anything when you wake up. Hey, we have a pretty nice rejection though, yeah? Damn. What did he say? What did the song say in Turkish just now? Morning, Price. Friday, what's up? Asking something only Rich would know. What was what color was the shirt that Levi got? Logitech G29. The wheel? No, we upgraded actually. We upgraded last summer to a Logitech G Pro. I think what's next is, if I continue the sim race, I think I'm gonna go for some SimCube. For sure. Damn, okay, that's the real Richie. What's up, Hidden? Emmanuel, what's up? Fanatec is cool, but I heard their customer service is it's not that good anymore. Like, they I think there's better products now. But I think Fanatec is like better price for what it is. I'm glad you like it, man. Why did you laugh when you said my name? I don't think I meant to laugh at your name. I was probably reading another comment. Has driving improved? My driving? I think it has, but yeah, maybe on a stream you can judge. You can be the judge of that. Favorite track? I think Road America. Road America, or yeah, I think Road America, or what's it called? Watkins Glen, the one in New York. I think that's my favorite track actually. Watkins Glen. And Daytona. Daytona's pretty chill too. The Ring, yeah, I've done The Ring. I think I kind of memorized it. I know like maybe 70% of it right now. But I haven't played in like 2 months, so I'm gonna be hella rusty. Emmanuel Pavlovich. You drive manual or auto? Auto. UK Deadstock. What's up, man? You still making beats? Noise Ride the best track? Yeah, once you memorize that track, you're in like flow state. Oh, hey, we have a leg candle fill right now, so coming down towards the body area. I wonder if we can get some type of reactions at these zones. I don't think I'm gonna take, like in this situation, I wouldn't take a leg candle like this because price is way too bullish. It's too early to determine that it's bearish. So usually when it's like, if it's like bullish, I'll prefer a bullish leg candle. You know what I mean? I'll prefer a bullish leg candle to go up with the trend, but like it's coming up slowly, but it's not like this move up. I think since last night wasn't, I don't think this directional yet until you get like an actual like higher low to continue up, like more structure. So in a scenario like this is like a leg candle I wouldn't really try to get into, just because of like the probability, even though you have one. Every reel I have on IG is liked by you. Huh? I thought I turned it off. What? I think my likes are valid though, so you know what? I think my likes are valid. Cause if you're getting the same thing as me, bro, you're watching the same shit. I'm pretty sure I made a few DVS beats, but never got anywhere to send to you. All right, when we get this Discord open, you can send it in there. Damn. Yeah, Discord. We gotta get that done. Drown Never in real life is my dream. I imagine you're from like Germany. Wait. Yeah, Germany, right? If you're there, you can just go over there. Weekly, monthly, broke previous. WM, what that mean? Weekly, monthly, lows direction. Wait, weekly, monthly, broke previous. Weekly and monthly. Yeah, weekly broke the previous low. Oh yeah, broke the previous monthly, weekly lows direction. Yep. What car when I drive around it? What Nürburgring? I think I don't know. I feel like I start with like something chill. Maybe just like an M2. Something chill. M2. Loading the track a little. I think the loading track in the M2 is gonna be pretty. It's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty fair. And then I want to drive a GT3, like an actual GT3. Do you use a fib or not in your trades? Do I use a fib or not? No, I don't. I just use price action and like market structure, so I'll base it off of that. But you can kind of get the same info. Like if you draw from here to here, this will give you 61.8 retracement. You know. Like these zones I found kind of line up with it, kind of. Maybe you got some more zones on the way down, right? That were minor zones. I think when you look at price, it may give you a better an idea of like where it can actually reject off of, or you can combine the two. Would M2 be a downgrade from R8? I think they're asking about like to be on a track. I wouldn't rip an R8 as my first lap around the ring. Iceman? You know, I was thinking about it. I don't know how long. 10 days? I'm not even on Twitch. Like what if I spark up Twitch and there's like, cause when's the last time I was live on Twitch? A year ago? Dog, it's been so long. Didn't we reacted to I Am Music and what's that one? That one, the album, the Drake album, Party Next Door. The one that I never listened to. Or SSS for you, some of that. SSS for you. And then what else did we listen to? The Nav album. Yeah, we did a bunch of reactions. What's the plan for the 1 hour, 4 hour doji close? The one, I think that's just a weak bullish candle, man. I think with the weak bullish candle closing above here, there's no plan. I think we're still waiting for this to break out now. You want to see this kind of break out of the range, right? So that's when you'll get volume. Maybe a little higher here. Maybe extend it from like up here down to here. You got something from here to here, right? So you want to see this break out. Either like you break above the highs or break below first, but you gotta like break in order to get a continuation, or we gotta break up to get a continuation back into the range. But you need a break before I can figure out where it wants to go. Pretty chill 1 hour count though. Close bullish. Holding these ranges though, so as long as that holds, you can stay above. No bottom wick on the opening, so we'll see if that's an issue. What's your question? Canadian GP? Robert Kubica won there in F1. Canadian, he won the. Wait, he's an F1 driver? I thought this entire time he was just like a What are they called again? GTP driver. I thought he just drove GTPs. Wait, he won the, oh, he won the Le Mans. But he did rally, Le Mans, and F1. That is insane. Or he did all the motorsports. Big accidents doesn't aid that basically in his career. But he's still racing today, no? I swear I saw him win like a race like a couple months ago, no? At the Le Mans? The recent Le Mans. Wait, we got some volume here. Filling that range up. Can we get a breakout? Filling the wick right now. Chat, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit the like button, man. Just came off of a trade. We just came off of a trade with no direction, so I think that directional trade coming next. Just waiting for this volume to kind of pop out and break outside this range. Did I want to trade Asian last night? I want to trade Asian London. Asian London look pretty ass. Asian and London kind of look pretty slow. What does sunset mean? Like off? Yeah, we're making a new one. The chat voted for a new one, so there'll be a new one. Trade the Asian 1BE. Oh, but I think you're about to correct this entire move here, guys. About to get an entire correction of this range, making it its way up towards 82. So is this volume? First breakout or second breakout now after the higher low. How much should it move for? 84. $100 likes. Let's get to it. We are at 49, so yeah, we're halfway there. Still early too. I think that's pretty achievable. I wonder how much we'll be up right now if we use a fixed lot for the year. I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that. I don't know much about. I didn't know much about him. About Robert. He was teammates of Hamilton and Russell. Yeah, I don't know much. I only started watching motor racing maybe like 24. FOMO would have gone me, I would have entered a buy. Well, it didn't get you though. It would have got you, but you didn't let it get you. So you beat FOMO today. No bottom wick on the 4 or the 1. Do you think this could fake out again? I think if the 4 and the 1 doesn't need a bottom wick, but I think there are ways to prevent it. See how like this is the opening? Do you see any pullbacks? If you get a pullback, right? There's been no pullbacks, right? So if you get a pullback anywhere, even like if you get something like this, and then you come back up, that doesn't 100% prevent it, but it increases the odds that you likely won't get a bottom wick for the 4. I used to think like that too, like, oh, 4 have no bottom wick, it has to come down, right? But if you like start coming down for higher lows, like every time you make a higher low, that should be the time that it comes down to create a bottom wick on the 4, because you're like that much closer to flipping, right? That's what you would think like price action would do. But if you start coming down, right, let's say it comes like here, and then all of a sudden it shifts back up, and it creates some higher lows on the way up too, like the chances are slimmer. And let's say you come up, you create another higher low here, come back up again, chances are very slim. At that point, I'm bullish, and I'll start looking for buys, right? Especially in these ranges too. Like if the 4 is an issue, and this is the first breakout of the range, right? You still got you got levels to clear. You gotta clear all of this. You're looking at least up here for buys, or for me, I'm looking for at least up there for continuation buys, like a directional move today, which is 45.98. And when it comes to non-directional moves, I think the only thing I can think of maybe is like taking a wick entry buy. But then again, it's still not bullish enough to take a wick entry buy. So sorry for rambling, but yeah, the 4-hour candle, if it's an issue, you'll see it like come down for a bottom wick or something. Unless you're like trying to attempt a wick entry position to come down towards the area. I don't want to attempt those. I know someone attempted it yesterday. There was like no, who was it? I forgot who it was in the chat, but someone got in on the, I think the buys to go up towards the 4-hour flip. I think it was Issa. Issa and someone else. The red gloves. Yeah, no one called them out. How many we got right now? We have 270. Okay. Okay. Trading so boring. Appreciate you going live and giving us value entertainment. No problem, man. Trying my best. See where we can take this from here on out. Yeah, it's been a month though. You guys picking up on like the things that I'm saying? I think a month should be You know, you don't gotta understand everything, but I think it makes a little more sense now. I think when I first came back, it was a lot more confusing because you couldn't see any live examples or anything of what I was doing. It looked all over the place probably. Why did I update the win rate? 545. 545, 123, 82. Will it sell now? I never said it'll sell now, so I don't know. Do you even trade or keep monitor charts? I just took a trade maybe 30 minutes ago. And we're just waiting for more trades. I don't know, like, do you expect me to like just like take trades for the entire stream? Call it a live trading session? That would be a real live trading session. My 4-day course, which one? Oh, in January. Yeah, I think I could have done a little better in that video course, but yeah, that should help. Get the basics. I use them for sim race, and now I got other gloves. All right, we're pushing up here. Let me see what's up. Continue to push up here. You got to pull back, retest the lows of 45.74, making its way back up to re-break the highs here. You see this struggle area here? That you can treat that as a range on a smaller time frame. So what do you think is next before you get continuation, right? If you had a drive, now this is the range, next is liquidity. So you want to see one of these ends break. So sometimes like it might not be positions, but you can anticipate all of that for like volume that's about to come in. That will give you a sense of direction later. I think this could be considered your first pullback right here. First higher low. So you got a pullback for a higher low. So now can this make its way back to retest the highs here? You want the weekly flip? Where is that? Oh yeah, it's right there. I think that's pretty possible. Where is that? That's the daily top of the range, right? No, that's way ahead of that. I think that's pretty doable. That's not much to go. Question becomes, are you gonna range here for the rest of the week and then Friday? Yeah, I think this is the only zone you gotta break. Once you can break above here and then just like continue to hold that area, I don't see why not. Maybe you can also go up without pulling back and then a correction for Friday. You haven't had any pullbacks here. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday could be non-directionless. We'll see. Yeah, the weekly flip's pretty doable though. That's 400. Am I tripping? Is that only 400 pips away? Wow, only 400 pips away. That's not far at all. I'll take 1 minute candle. I recommend other videos. I think I recommend the live streams because like the videos can only explain so much. I think the live streams are better because it's like live examples of what I'm trying to explain. And then you also get the trade too some days, so you can see it all kind of all come together. On videos I can just, you know, yap, but I think the lives are gonna be much better to learn off of if you have the time. I'm gonna delete these zones. Let's see, what was our original zone today? 78 and 5.9. So whatever is not that. The body kind of big though, but we can treat it as a lay. What's that, 30-minute time frame? I like how you send the, I like how you send this like, yo, who's screaming in my ear? The chart. I like how you send the chart because it's easier to follow. 30-minute leg candle, where's that? Oh, this one? That's a tiny one. Let's see. This is pretty good. Like, yo, I made the connection earlier that this could also be a non-directionist move up, because, and we'll see if it actually is a non-directionist move up. But if it comes up without creating structure, like you don't always need structure, right? It doesn't always require liquidity to go. Sometimes it just rips without having the liquidity. I think the liquidity is more so just like confirmations for us to enter, but there's ways to enter without it too, right? You can get smaller time from liquidity, you can get smaller time from pullbacks, especially like what you just formed on like the minute or the 5 or even the minute here. Like if you continue to just pump these ranges like this, if you continue to print these ranges like this and you just continue to get drives, like constantly just do that, eventually it gets to a point where you can just say, okay, well, this is breaking all the structure to the left, and with that volume, this should continue to make its way up, right? And then you have the weekly flip at 46.29, maybe a little lower, 46.26. So you have a lot of range. You don't need to get in right here. Like you probably don't even want to get in right here because this is a pretty major zone. But I think as you approach above into like 45.99, above there, you can start planning for ideas here, right? I think Pens will point out a leg candle here. Pens will point out a leg candle right here. So that's something you look to take if you make your way up above 45.99. A little bit of buffer zone too, so that like the whole leg candle body reaction, all of that play out. So that's pretty good. So if you can get a push up, tap into the area, get a pullback, hold. As you continue to hold those areas, the re-break, you can look for ideas right there. And then just like that, you're at the weekly flip basically, right? And then question becomes like, okay, if you come up, let's say it does do that, all right? Let's just say, I'm not saying it will, but let's just say it does in some way. Like you looking at this move up, what's missing, right? Like visualize the move and be like, what's missing here? Like likely liquidity. So if you're pushing up without having that liquidity, sometimes I might say the lines of like, if it's not a problem now, it could be a problem for later, right? So going up isn't a problem now, but it could be a problem for later. What does that mean? It means that when you actually do get liquidity, this entire thing could get retraced. And that's what you call your 1-2 pop, right? That's your 1-2 pop correction, because there's no structure coming up. So when you come down, or if you come down, there's less things to break. It's more so just clean breakages back into the range. So that's a possibility if it does come up with liquidity, right? It's not that we want liquidity. It's more so even if there is liquidity, it would be better for the move overall, because more chances of you staying bullish, and then we don't gotta wait too long for a direction to form. But even if you got this, like look how long, like even if you come up and then come down, that's not direction still. You're still within these ranges on a higher time frame. It's gonna be tradable, right? But it's not direction. And you want direction because those will be your algo days. And that's why you haven't had that for April and May so far. It's been pretty directionless, right? It's just been sitting in this range. But you do have this. You do have this somewhat of a fake out, right? So top of the range fill, I think that is going to be the weekly flip as well. So that does make sense. But if it comes up, right, is it like for the next stage for a breakout will be coming up towards 46.42 and then breaking above there to continue, right? You need that, which means that you still need somewhat of liquidity above the ranges as well. Otherwise, you know, you can just kind of drop back into the range here. And then now you're just in one massive range though. All right? This is still somewhat of a range. But if you do get a structure now, if you do get a higher low before going up, it's a bit better because now you have liquidity. So the chances of you hanging around at 46, 42 could be a lot less. And therefore you can higher chance to get a breakout. But that comes down to like how it gets up there, if it gets up there. So something just to keep an eye out for. Ideally has no top wick there too. Price testing yesterday's NY high. Yeah, I think it exceeded it already. It tapped it, so this is some type of range here, right? Then did anyone get wick entry ideas here? Wick entry sell ideas at 78 instead. I don't think that was too bad of an idea too. I think I did say earlier, if we don't get the one that we got, I think next zone going up was like 82, right? So yeah, it came up a little higher, 84, but you can see where we based it off of, just like these candles to the left here, just like reaction zones. Like you're gonna get some type of higher lows before going up, or if you were to come down, same idea as we had earlier. All right, but it's like a win-win situation. Four kind of is like a lead. Yeah, four. The previous one you could treat it like one. If you come down that steep, that's like your fake out too. So hopefully volume. Even this will give you direction. If you break below 44.95. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit the like button, hit the sub button. Might as well. We're about to hit this week, I think 25,000 or 125,000. We are at 124,845, so we need, I think, 160. I think that's doable with NFP. Maybe NFP stream. 160 subs in 3 days. All right, NYC in 3 minutes. Let's see. What's this gonna bring? Maybe some volume. A little more. Maybe it'll help this move. How much is the flip? 130, and then leg candle body area is like 200 pips away. So that's not too far. Maybe we can remove this line here because this is the leg candle area towards the leg candle body area.
Frankly, I hadn't given it much thought.
Little pullback maybe. You said sell with the question mark. Hey man, I don't know if that's a rhetorical question or you're asking me for a position, but if I'm not, you know, if I have no ideas, I genuinely don't have any ideas for what's going on. If I have an idea, I'm gonna say it out loud, and that's what we're gonna wait for. But when there's nothing, like, it's not that these aren't valid, it's just I don't see anything in these areas. Like, there's literally nothing going on. Like, I'm not thinking about taking a trade, thinking about where we could take a trade until what we mentioned like kind of happens, right? So right now it's like this blue range, we know we're not gonna take a trade within this blue range. We know we need a break above, below, and even if you break, you still need liquidity, you still need volume, right? So until all of that happens, in between, we're just like chilling. Like, it's literally just wait for direction. All right, like I said, next trade is more so directional. The one earlier was less directional, so that's why like the one earlier was less like strict when it came to how precise we gotta be. It was just the idea that you need a bottom wick, right? And you still don't have it. You got somewhat of a bottom wick, but I think it could be a bit better. But something tells me if you continue to push up here, if you start making your way back below the blue zone, that can be the start of a 4-hour leg candle, and maybe you can get a wick fill, and then maybe we can look for sells. But you want this to kind of break out, right, of this range first, and then you want volume. So like I don't have a reason to sell here. I don't know if it's gonna come down from here. I don't know if it's gonna make its way up, right? I do know that if it comes down below 45.55, chances of you coming down to continue is a bit higher. So that at that point, that's where I'm looking for a sell. But I can't guess. You know, I can't just predict that. So that's gonna happen here. This can still follow with the same cycle from the morning and just like continue to push up slowly, right? Push up, pull back range, push up, pull back range, push back, push up, pull back range. Oh shit! What if you get a pull back, pull back? Doesn't that break the cycle of the push up, pull back range, push up, pull back range? Now you got pull back, pull back. That breaks the whole algorithm, the whole cycle. So at that point, something different might happen. Maybe volume might come in, right? And you start applying that with the 4-hour leg candle down here below 45.55, and all of a sudden you have much greater ideas now, right? But you don't want to get caught in this like cycle here, because you might just start ranging. That reel, I saw that reel too. Yeah, he had like a face filter on, right? I think I like that one. That was one that Rich was talking about. But I just had to say it because I feel like sometimes people don't understand like what we're doing. I think because maybe like chat, how are these other streams? Like are they just like taking trades? Like are they just expecting trades? Because we took a long, we haven't been on YouTube for like a year and a half, maybe 2, right? Like we came back on Twitch, so I think maybe people forgot. but it's like basically just like we come on, do our analysis, and then I'll give my ideas out. And throughout the session, like if those ideas form, we're looking to take the moves. If they don't form, there's no ideas, there's nothing I can really take, so we're just half the time watching. Um, 455 is based on the 1 hour candle 8 a.m. 4555. This one was based on the 4 hour leg candle body. So I just used the 4 hour candle. And then I moved it a little further down, maybe off of the 1. There's been some reactions areas here. So I just chose right there. Yeah. 1 and the 4 is what I use. $200 running a profit on a sell now from 45.81. Okay. You re-break this low, might be GG's. You can get a runner. You have a leg count to 15. What's up, Illis? I didn't see your message. Here's more of them. If I was watching AI bots say so. Yeah, we get like 3 a week. I'll be straight up honest. Like I average 3 trades a week, so whatever, you know, happens. Don, you were 8 at the time our GOAT won. 2008. Oh, when Robert won? I don't know. I guess some people just be like spamming trades for the session. As like, maybe like the pressure, like being like a streamer trader, you feel like you need to provide your audience with the trade, but it's like, if you're trying to provide your audience with the trade all the time, you're sacrificing your own trading. Like you're not going to be who you want to be trading wise, like where you want to be, right? You're not going to be as sharp because now you're just taking trades of pressure. It's like, there's no different from trading for your friends or for your parents. Like this is unnecessary pressure. Or like when you try to like dumb it more down for the viewers, like you can make it simple, right? But you don't got to dumb your strategy down. You could always improve it, make it better. And then your audience will pick up. They'll follow you. You know, if you're really doing it, they'll follow you over the years. They'll see your whole process, your whole thinking process. Right? But you don't got like force trades just for viewers and clips. Spreads are pretty tight here on the way down. Hey, you got your runner, huh? News incoming? Yeah, in 25. Hey, let's see. Can you get a 4-hour flip here now? I think this is the first pullback. Yeah, a little one here earlier, but this one actually is like, you can see the difference, right? In the pullback. So could this be, so this is volume, right? This is now a little more volume coming in. So now you're looking at the 4-hour flip. Can you come down towards the 4-hour flip? And I think this buffer zone is gonna be the toughest area between 64 and 5.5. But if you can push through that area below 5.5, you have a leg candle. At that point, you can start looking for ideas to continue down. I think you also have in the buffer zone a 30-minute leg candle too. And by buffer zone, I just mean like it's an area that might be a little difficult to break. So it might spend a little bit of time there, but between 62 and 5.5, if you can clear that range, break below 5.5, below 5.5, you go on the 4-hour time frame, you have a leg candle. And if this is a leg candle, you can look towards a leg candle fill, which means that you can look towards sells, right? And then all you gotta do after that is go on a small time frame. So we'll go on something like the minute and the 5. and we'll pay attention to the way it comes down. Right? See, we have enough like lower highs yet. See, we have enough volume. And that'll be confirmations. We'll be planting cells at 99 with entry cells. What, like wick entries? 99. How much is this pullback? I think that's gonna be important. How much is the pullback? So I think that's pretty valid. 99. You're looking for just the first initial reaction, as long as that's a minor zone or maybe a little stronger. How much is this? Yeah, it's a decent zone. Between here and here. I'll say between here and here. Between like 15 and like 46, 45.99. If you make your way up there, you can get a reaction, but I think it comes down to this. So if you start noticing on a smaller time from that, so right now this is the move, and this is the pullback. If you come up, I think that's still doable for another pullback. But if you start seeing something like this, where it breaks all these lows, and then starts to come up, on the way up you have higher lows, that 99 won't be valid no more. Because this was such a steep pullback, right? This could have been your liquidity. So then the move up is more likely to be directionally bullish. So you don't want to take the wick entry sells when it's directionally bullish. So I think that's going to be important. Just pay attention to how far that pullback is going to be, and then you'll be good. All right. Seven likes. Let's get to 100. 100. What else we got today? ISM Jotes new home sales. That's a good amount of folders. Oh yeah, wasn't there like a US government shutdown for the beginning of the year? Or was that Q4? Probably why the year picked up a little, took a little longer to pick up too. US government shutdown. So I think this folder is coming out from then. All right, got a pullback here and then lower high. So still a little early, but now you have like a little bit more of a structure, right? Lower highs, lower highs, and lower highs. So that's very good. And let's see if this is gonna continue correcting that move from, I think 9, start of 9 a.m. Daily looks flippable, kind of like weak push. Daily. How far is that? It's not too bad. Yeah, I think the range is getting smaller because I don't know why I thought this was like maybe like 1700 bips. This is only 500. I think we could have maybe used a better stop earlier. I think maybe 4706 would have been fine. And then management above here. So it would have been 1300. Lots would have been maybe 0.06, 0.07. Let's see. What's this gonna be? News in 13. I think it may come out mixed. Yeah, like 1, 2, 3, 4 folders coming out at 10. I think it likely come out mixed for all. But I think the red folder expecting actual greater than forecast go for currency. They're expecting numbers to come out bad. They're forecasting 43.7 over 45, 54, or 53.7 over 54. So that's for ISM. Jolt's job openings 6.86 over 6.88, which means that that is also expected to come out bad. New home sales, I don't know. Actual grade and forecast is good. They're expecting a 652. I don't know what the previous numbers were. Maybe it's 587. They're expecting good. Yeah, so could be mixed. And this is a speech. FOMC member Bauman speaks. What is your expectation for numbers? I don't know. I would assume mixed just because that's what they're expecting. But I think what's important is like how it comes out. I like this one. I think what's important is how it comes out. So whether you have good or bad, it comes down to how the market reacts to those numbers, right? So you can come out negative and price could start off by pushing down first, or come out negative and gold can start pushing up first, right? And then all of a sudden, within like 2 minutes, that can get corrected, and now you have a huge top wick that finally filled. Let's say there's a range somewhere up here, you finally filled it, and now you flip bearish, and the rest of the session could just do something like this, right? So I think it comes down to how the market reacts to that. So we'll find out, right? Everything that you want to wait for in the markets, you'll eventually find out if you continue waiting. You want to know what's bullish? Continue waiting. Wait till it's bullish. You know what's bullish. Start taking buys, right? If you're waiting for sells, wait till the market's bearish. Start taking sells. Some people might not like that though because they want to buy low and sell high. Just depends. What's up, Biza? Looking for a sell now. Seems like the rest of the chat is too. Everyone's just been saying sell, 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 so. That's setting goals for the year. Yeah, I got some goals for myself. For sure, for sure. Did these positions copy over? So still the same cycle here, guys. Still pushing up, pushing up and then immediately pull back range, right? It's still following that same cycle. I think that's been going on since this entire push up, since Monday. So still doing the same, especially in this blue range, right? So if it continues to do that, you then eventually want to scale it to the higher time frame and see if it can break structure in the higher time frame. Because I think when that happens, that's when you can take the buys a lot more seriously. Like in terms of direction, you might be more in favor. But when does the structure break for the buys? Right, you're looking at least above 4609, right? So that's all of this though. So basically what I'm saying is like, if it continues to move in this same cycle going up, where it's just like push, pull back range, push, pull back range, it means that like you don't have volume, you don't have set direction yet, right? But if that continues to occur, where you just constantly get these slow movements up, eventually it'll be okay once you break structure. It's just that it's going to be 4610, right? Which is well above here. Do I trade off stream on another account? No. I just I was checking to see if it copied over to my other accounts. I just trade on stream. Like literally all my trades for the last year and a half have all been in Divis 01, like on stream or on YouTube. I haven't taken trades outside of that. So no Asian, no London. Maybe Asian soon though. Asian could be a thing soon. Prop firm, your own account, man. I'll suggest that. That's the best prop firm. God damn, bruh. Sell, buy, sell, buy. That's all you've been asking the entire stream. I don't know why there's no timestamps here, but sell, buy, buy, sell or buy. Sell or buy, please, sell or buy. Relax. Just wait. Just wait. Okay? We're just waiting. We're just chilling. There'll be opportunities soon. Damn. We'll get something soon. Just give it some time. Be patient. You know, gotta learn a bit of patience. Bro is not gonna make it. For real, you can't make it, but just, you know, constantly doing that, man. I guess strong resistance, 4582. Let's see. Let's see if it corrects it. I wonder if you could. What's next zone? Let's remove this. 46. So where's the 3-minute leg candle, pencil? Right here? No way, this is the one. This is so tiny. 4606. Yes, you gotta make your way up here. 270. Yeah, let's see. If A2 is strong, you should get rejections here, and then I think it can lead to a 4 flip, but This can also still be a higher low too. 3 minutes here, guys, for news, okay? So get ready. If you're trading, just be aware in 3 minutes, in 2 minutes here, you have ISM, services, PMI, Joe's job openings, new home sales. So we're not gonna place any like buy stop, sell stops or anything, but we're gonna wait for numbers to come out, see how much volume comes in the markets, and then we'll take advantage of that, right? So we'll wait for that volume to align with price action. And if it aligns with our ideas, we'll execute. But if you are in trades, just be aware. I think ISM's like a hit or miss though. Hit or miss on if it moves, especially with 4 folders. Bias. I don't really have one right now. I think I have a bias of like liquidity is next after ranges, so I'm expecting liquidity to occur. I don't know if that's gonna be up or down first, but I think that's next. So just be aware of that first move, because then I'll have a better picture of what's being printed. You wanna wait for news? Yeah, we're waiting for news for sure. And then depending on how news comes out, right? So I'll say like right here, liquidity could be pushing up first, and then the push down could be directional. Liquidity could be a bottom wick first, and then push up. News might not do it. Maybe you might get it at 11, but just waiting for like price to actually break above this yellow or break below the yellow, and then we'll start putting pieces together. Was on buy, but market took me out as soon as I put BE. Well, that's fine though. Still follow your plan, right? All right, chat. You have a 1 hour closure, bullish closure. You can say above this range. I think you're still missing a bottom wick though, but above that range still is the closure. So now let's see if news opens up, pops up, or let's bearish and pop down. I don't think this changes much though. So mixed folders, I'm assuming, right? This thing is not moving. Why does it sound like that? It's like rain. ISM services PMI numbers came out negative, 43.6 instead of 43.7. Joe's job openings came out positive, so already mixed. New home sales came out positive, so 2 positives and 1 negative, so mix. Yeah, I think if this news can give us a boost of volume, then you should be a little closer to getting something directional, or into getting that next part of liquidity, and then eventually something directional. Training? Yeah, training's been full time since 2019. Since I quit my job. Yo, you gotta chill. Buy, sells, buy, sells, buy, sells. Still. Alright. Yo, you bit me some. Just sold your carpet on sale. All right, good luck, man. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. We had a trade earlier for those that are coming in now for news. We're just waiting for news here to come out and then waiting for a bit more direction to form. Once we have that direction formed, the second trade will be something more directional. All right. First trade today wasn't really directional. It was more so just part of the cycle. But the second move, I think, is likely to be more directional. I don't think we'll take a, at this time especially, right? I think you're expecting some volume. After getting caught out for not being able to trade and being a massive gambler, why do you continue to go live knowing that you exhibit bad trading? If I quit after my first blown account, I wouldn't have made it as far as I did. So you gotta make mistakes along the way in order to get better, improve, and be the trader you want to be. But if I quit, I won't get there. So sometimes, you know, you gotta reroute and then come back for a better conclusion. How high are you? You think I'm high? They're telling us like we need to blow something if sometimes get to the top. Not all the time. I'm sure there's healthier habits, but like I've blown before I became profitable a shit ton of money. So sometimes in trading, that's like those are lessons, right? Those are your lessons that you're paying for. Sometimes you're paying a large chunk. Quick thing like this thing of jumping time frame, it really confuses me. Different signals everywhere. Okay, well, you want to just look at it and be like, well, it's not like every time, like you don't look at every time frame and just be like, oh, this is like bearish, this is bullish, this is bullish, 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 bearish. Like that's not how I'm looking at it. You gotta just put the pieces together. So sometimes there could be like, for instance, a 4 hour, let's say leg candle right here. Okay, cool. So when you switch to the small time frames, you also want to see, okay, so this right here is the 4 hour leg candle right here. So the idea is that for a leg candle to happen, you would need to see this candle make its way down like this, right? And it's only the opening of the 4, so you're only an hour in. You have until 1 p.m. for the 4 opening. So you have 3 hours for potential of this candle flipping bearish. Right, this one right here. So then as you switch to a smaller time frame, right, so we mark up a zone there, that's a leg candle fill. When you fill it, you fill the wick, right? But the start of that is 4555. So keep that in mind. So when you switch to the 1, you're not looking at the 4 leg candle fill. You're looking at, okay, how could you come down here? What's going to require? Oh, maybe you might need a steeper top wick here, right? This is a bullish candle. This new candle can open up by popping up first, right? And then as it makes its way down like this, right, you can maybe even have clean traffic coming down on this candle. So then you can even take it down another notch on the 30-minute time frame and be like, okay, what's happening there? You got a little bit of support here, and you have a range here. This could be a range. So now you want to see closures below the range like this, right? But what could you get before a closure like that? What can happen? Going back to that 4-hour time frame, or what was it? Going back to the 1-hour time frame, you might need a steeper top wick, right? So let's add that. If you get a steeper top wick, where could it be? Just put a ballpark area, like maybe minor resistance here. Okay, cool. Go back on 30. So basically what you're saying now is looking at those 3 time frames. If you can get a top wick first, and then you start shifting back into the range, there's a very high chance this will get filled, right? And then that leads you to the 4-hour leg candle. So you're telling different chapters or pieces of a story using different time frames to get an overall idea of what's happening. But yeah, if you get a top wick first at 45.90, start shifting back below 45.75, you fill that range, that's nearing your 4-hour leg candle. So then if that does occur, you switch back to the 4 and you start looking at the 4 directly, and you don't gotta look at the other time frames too much, right? But you're just like anticipating like, oh, what's gonna lead to what? Like, how could you make your way down towards the higher time frame idea? But usually you want to have higher time frame idea, and then small time frame, use that as like smaller confluences. Make sense? So like when you see me switching, flipping, that's kind of what I'm just constantly looking at. It's not always for an entry, right? Sometimes it's just to analyze and gaze to see what's up. It is true though, but I wouldn't give up on them. I think everybody has the ability to learn. It's just like, how much do you want to learn, right? Some people just don't have like the care and effort to learn from themselves, so they're just not growing. How much your life saving percentage is, I don't know, that's not really for me to say. That's up to you. It's like risk, right? What do you want to risk? Like I might be risking 25% here. Some people might be risking 1%. I think as long as you find something that suits you and works with your emotions and your strategy, your win rate, your average loss, your average wins, your win streak, losing streaks, like, you know, find something that works for you. It's all valid. There's no right or wrong number. From your experience, how long it takes to become profitable? You can be profitable on day 1. Like, you can win a trade. That's profitable, but like consistency, right? So that constantly evolves. Like, as time goes on, as the years go on, you improve each year. So your year 1 profitability won't be anything near your 10th profitability, right? You've gained more consistency each year. So you can be profitable day 1 if you have that down pat. I mean, chances are slim, but it just comes down to like your psychology. How fast can you get that down pat? Right? And sometimes you gotta go through a lot of stages in order to get to where you want to be. Right? That doesn't mean the story ends or the journey ends, right? You continue to push, find ways to improve. There's always ways to improve, and you just continue from there. Yeah, what messes me up is volume. A few months ago, The war started, I was very profitable. That is what I call market cycles. So there's different market cycles, and if you're a new trader, you're not gonna have the experience, no matter what, to experience the different market cycles. You might have experienced that market cycle, but can you understand the range cycle now? Can you understand the liquidity cycle? Can you understand the transition from range to liquidity, right? Because the war cycle, I would assume that's like more drive, like that's just more constant pushes. So some traders might be able to read that better than range. Some people might be able to read range much better than drive. But as you trade throughout the years without taking breaks, because you might miss out on a cycle if you take a break, as you trade each year, you're collecting data on all these different cycles. So your year one, you might not be good. Like you said, right now, you feel like you're not that great right now. You might not understand the cycle right now, but next year, if you continue to trade the cycle, you have a better understanding for it. So now all of a sudden, you know how to drive, you know how to trade the drive cycle, you know how to trade the range cycle. You got 2 cycles on your belt, right? And then you gotta learn the liquidity cycle. So imagine if you learn all 3 cycles each year, and each year piles on top of the other year. All of a sudden, you have so much experience trading all of these cycles. You know, like, okay, market may move like this from January to March. March to August, it might move a certain way. August to December, it might move a certain way, but you're ready. So then your playbook that you develop over these years, you know what to pull out for what event. Oh shit, drive cycle. My playbook says drive cycle, I'm taking these moves. Range cycle, I'm taking these moves, right? But when you're new, you're just constantly taking the same place throughout the year. But conditions are gonna change. It's gonna change, but it's gonna be the same conditions. It's just different phases to the market cycles. So it's just more experience. Like that's something you can't really like, you can only learn with time and experience. Yeah, the drop is pretty heavy. You got a pullback here. This could be a higher low too. So maybe this could be a higher low to get continuation. Or this can be a start of a 4-hour flip. I think you're halfway from the top of the range and halfway to the flip. So 70 more pips, and then you start looking at the leg candle. I think 30-minute time frame, create a top wick. It didn't break the highs, didn't tap 90, but you did get a steeper top wick. And then now look, you're breaking into that range, right? So you can assume that this range could get filled as long as you hold 45.73. And then that's not an idea for a trade, but that could take you closer to the higher time frame idea below here. I will say, just be a bit cautious here. If you do come down towards 45.55, first breakout could be a fake out or a typical saying. But if you could pull back, if you can break through, pull back and hold that area, you have this entire range, right? It also comes down to how quick this move down is if it does come down. Because I think it's a 1-2 pop if it does come down heavier, right? So far, it's pretty slow. It's a little better, but I think it's similar to this move. I don't think it's anything too crazy of a difference. Let's see. This one was 19 candles to come up. So a 1-2 pop would be like if you get literally like a 2-3 candles that correct the entire range, right? That'll tell you a lot of detail and information when it comes to volume. And that could flip you on the 4. That'll be very helpful. So we're close. Closer. All right, but still a little far. And directional moves usually take a little longer to play out compared to like non-directionless moves, like our wick entry sell earlier. What time frame to enter my trades? All of them. Like the one today was off of the 1 and the 4. It just depends. Like some days we enter off the minute, some days off the 1. Just depends on the trade. But today it was off of the 1. You can just look at my journal. And I'll show the time frame I use. Do extra point trades, and then I think this journal should say. That's usually all. I think our most is uses the 1. Second comes the 5 minute, and then the 30, and then the 4, and then the 15, and then the minute. Oh. Let's see, picking up. The Greg Sparrow guy? Nah, I didn't check it out. Who's it again? An artist? You told me to hit him up? No, I'll check him out. I was searching him up. Was he American? Have you been joining late? We selling gold today. We took one. On the next position could be a buy. Depends on where price goes from here. Just waiting for this to break out this entire range here. But once that's settled, we'll have a much clearer analysis on what's going on next. Have you been screwed by a broker by not refunding your deposit or profits? No. Surprisingly, the only time I've been screwed over was funded. But not really screwed over. More of like they just took a little longer to pay out. Also, I'm missing send a week and more. ECML, okay, got you. We take 3 trades a week on average, so we already have 2 this week. Maybe it could be a 5 week. Maybe it's picking up for sure. But yeah, we've been getting like 3 trades a week on average. Premier soccer? No, I don't watch soccer. It's too much for me to learn. Too many leagues. Okay, so what target pips you aim when it's such a few signals you're giving a week? Man. I'm assuming they must be big trades. Nope. They are not big trades. They are the ones that you see on the stream here, right? So it depends. Sometimes conditions might give us more or less pips depending on how much range we got. The one today was 22. Yesterday was 50. The one before was 15. I mean, you can check the stats out here. These are all the stats to the journals, right? Sometimes you get runners for 170, but no, they're very, like, I wouldn't say they're huge, but they're not too small. They're just kind of whatever ranges conditions give us. I think there's a I don't know. I guess we would just assume that, like, you know, there needs to be more pips for maybe fewer signals, but if I were to look at it like that, I'll be sacrificing my own trading, right? Because I'm not trading for what the market's giving me. I'm just trading it to call a signal. So I just take or call the signals whenever I actually get a trade idea, and they come that often, like 3 times a week. If they came more, we'll be calling out more, right? But that's just what the conditions give us right now. Okay, so your win rate is high, but that's only if you accept small pip wins. To be honest, if the win rate is high, then to be honest, the pip wins isn't even bad. I would just do higher lot with precaution follow. You do not want to do higher lot just because we don't get a lot of trades as well, but you can do whatever you want to do. You can follow however you want to follow. Like, that's all up to you. But I would advise against maybe like increasing lots just to get more pips. It's just not a good long-term thing to do. I don't know. It's just not that great of a long-term plan. Because there's also drawdown too, right? Not all trades have drawdown, but trades have drawdown. Risk is all up to you. Let's go, Don. What's up, Mac? I couldn't make the stream. Secure another winner. Do you fill both journals? Yeah, I do both. One's for just screenshots, and the other one's actually more info, more data. Tanvir Jordan, since you're running high, but I think you might have to spend maybe like another 2 weeks on the stream, because like you get an idea of what we do. But there are people who join the same channel and they're expecting like, yo, man, like I thought we're supposed to be getting like 4,000 pips a month or something. I'm like, when in my life have I done that? Right? So I think just give it like 2 weeks on the stream, see how you like it, see how the trades come, you know, see if it suits your needs, and then make a decision. We use on Discord. Discord. But yeah, if you have an email, I'll email you back. If you send an email. Chat, we came down here, remember? So it came down. We didn't know if that was gonna be directional. I think we needed more structure regardless though. Right? But look, this is also not a bad thing too, because now this could be seen as a higher low. So if this is a higher low on price, how could you make your way up? Right? It's like you actually broke the cycle. Think about that for a second, right? Not too much, but the constant cycle of like just drive, range, pull back, drive, range, pull back, drive, range, pull back. Oh shit, there's no drive here. Pull back, drive. So now what if you get a drive again? That's drive, drive. It's not the same drive, range, pullback. It's drive, drive. So structure is breaking, something's breaking, something's happening that hasn't happened all morning. High chance volume, high chance could lead to direction. So, you know, you don't want to be, I'll say it's still a little early because you do want to see another drive, but I'm assuming if you get another drive, will be at least like above 4,600. Right? So you have a better idea of where things are once this 45.90 breaks. And then yeah, your next resistance is right here, 45.99. Right? And then we're looking for buys not anywhere here up, because we don't know if it's going to come up from here, but above 46.06. So if you could make your way up towards these ranges, towards 45.99, get let's say pullbacks, re-break the highs, pull back, right? All of a sudden now you have more structure. It's like higher lows, higher lows. You also make higher highs too, right? Eventually above here, that's your idea. And then going back to the goofy out music, going back to the leg candle right here, right? That's also the leg candle fill. You have a leg candle here on a 30. And it's good too because you have a low here now too, right? Which means that like if that is liquidity and you should go up, right? Take it back to generic price action. If that is liquidity, that's a low. There's no reason to break that low again. So what you can do now even is move the sell zone higher. Instead of looking for sells below 45.55, you can look for more so ideas below here now, because this was the low you made earlier. You came up to make another high. If you were to come back into the range, right, there's a higher chance below that range you can get continuation. So then instead of 5.5, you can look for just below 45.64 for ideas of sells, right? And that's kind of equivalent to where we had sells earlier in that range. So that's pretty good too. It shows a journal again just for the last week. Yeah, you can have the whole journal. Do exclamation point trades. Top left of my screen, you see like trades. Do that in the chat here. And that's the whole journal. What was I saying? Yeah, you have a leg counter here on 32. So if that can get filled, you can start looking for ideas below here. It won't be like a first break or anything, right? But you want to see that breakthrough. Let's say it comes down. If that breaks through, right, you want to see a pullback. So if you don't get a pullback, we can't get into it. But let's say you get a pullback like this. You hold that zone. You re-break the lows. That's your move from here to here. But let this play out, right? Especially in this range. You don't want to predict where it's going to go from here. Third might close a lid. Yeah, third is lid. 30 is a leg candle. The body reaction is here. Am I tripping? Didn't you have like another one earlier? Yeah, down here you have two. So down towards 5.5. It's filling this and this. It's both of them. Has that back away from PC. It was not. It was more of knowing the monthly weekly lows, broken direction there. Got you. Got you. Chat, how many trades deep are you guys in today? What do you rate price today? I think price action today is definitely like I think 5.5 is pretty fair. Five and a half, 5. I don't know. We got another idea. It could be a 6. If we get 2 more ideas, it could be a 6, 6.5. Pretty decent though. Would you guys say it's better than yesterday? Yes, is a little better, right? Yes, is a little more volatile. I think today it could set up for better than yesterday. Yesterday could set up for, I mean, what we had already. So at least that part's over with. Five out of 10. Hold on, give me 1 minute. It's almost like yesterday, repeat of yesterday. It almost feels like a repeat of yesterday. It manipulation up just under or near 600, then massive drop to 510. Yeah. I mean, wasn't yesterday? Wait, yesterday wasn't yesterday just going down? I think it's a little different, but it's like similar. It's like, I mean, yeah, you got the move down yesterday. You haven't gotten the move down today, at least yet. So if you do get that move down, then yeah, like I think similar in terms of where you're coming down from, like where you're mirroring in price. You could be mirroring this move down, you could be mirroring this move down from here too. So I think that's very similar in terms of mirroring, yeah. I think where it's different though is maybe you're already coming down prior, and this was just a drop, whereas this is coming up. So if you drop, this drop could be a lot harder because it'll be a correction of this slow range going up. Six times a good level though. Where is that? Right here? Or 510? I'm managing DD right now. About to exit with minimal risk. What, in GJ? We got indecision zone. Indecision zone, I think. I think so. Yeah, I think this entire range could be an indecision range. So yeah, I want to see this break out. Once you clear this red zone, I think it'll be a lot more clear. This is like your range / liquidity area. So you break above here or break below here. That tells a lot. What time is it? 10:30. Okay, almost 11 here. Yeah, we're probably gonna give it another 20 minutes, chat, until 11, and then at 11 we'll set a session stop loss, and then we'll go on from there, right? So we'll see, man. We'll see if there's even another trade today. Like, we need volume right now, at this minute, to come in for us to get any set of volume and direction. What was your rate today's price action? Out of 10, I'll put 5.5. Weapons. Bias for bullish, even though dailies are still bearish. I think my bias is more bearish. Well, I don't even think I have a bias. Because I usually don't have biases. I have like just cycles, like what range are we in, right? Drive range of liquidity. So depending on what needs to happen next is what I'm looking for as the bias. So liquidity is next. So I mean, liquidity could be between 45.99 and 45.55. You can go up, right? But overall, like if you get a correction, that's still, I'll say, more dominant bearish. So it's kind of hard to have a bias. So I just have like, what's the next part of the move, right? So you need liquidity above here or below here. So that I'll understand. Can we fill this 30 leg? Yeah, let's see. Yeah, body reaction. So yeah, pull back here, about to flip. Let's see if you can reflip. Still very weak on the move up. You did get liquidity, but that didn't really help it, right? Like you got a bottom wick, but you haven't picked up yet. Let's see, could we get wick entry sells again? Where's the next zone? 45.99. $45.94. Maybe. This will require 90 pips. Let's see how much structure you have going up. You got one here and you got a little bit here. Took wick entry sells, got stopped out 3 times. Wick entry sells, got stopped out 3 times. Really? I think you had some pretty decent pullbacks though. 78, 66, 55. Unless your stop's really tight. Jaya, you said this is your words this morning. You said today I am done. Which means that your day is done. So why are you still calling out positions? You said that like 8 a.m. It's been 2 hours. Getting better at letting go of DD, not getting emotional. W emotions. And just have your zone set up, and then you know it's just up to price to take the wheel. Wherever price wants to go. Your name is Price. If we can get 15-minute rejection with some FEG bear between 83.99, then we can look for some good sells. All right, you lost me there, but yep. I'm sure. You don't look at the, what's that, DXY? No. I look at just gold. So if I'm trading gold, I'm looking at gold. I don't look at the DXY or any other pair to confluence it. I think gold just kind of gives you an answer for that, or the pair you're trading. As for if it's bullish or bearish or what's stronger, length of volume, the way it comes up too. Like looking at this move up on gold, although it's going up, I think DXY could be more so in the range, right? It's not as dominant going up. It's just like a pending area. I mean, that's my reasoning. But if you use it and it works, then that's good, right? Remember years ago when the popular streamers would be USD? Now everyone is USD. I don't know. I've always been XAUSD. I feel like XAUSD, like everyone just cycles back on. Like people might find a new pair to hop on, but then you always come back to gold. This is the most consistent pair I've traded. Gold and GJ. I think USD is pretty consistent too, but a lot less volatile, right? Oh man, we're not gonna move today? That kind of re-breaking. Maybe this is the one. You might be getting your move, Reggie. W Price, thank you, man. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow. What day is it tomorrow? Wednesday? Oh, here it goes. Lecandle film. A little bit more volume here. Let's see. Still got a long way to go until ideas, but you know, one step closer here. If you can re-break these lows, if you can mirror this range. This might be invisible. So then you might need a top wick. Damn. Something like that would be nice too. If you can get like another top wick on the way down, that'd be nice. Then you can move it further up, maybe even towards 6-6 if you can get another top wick. But I think 5-5 is what we have for now. Below there for sells. Could still be a higher low too, right? To continue. What do you think about algo trading? I don't know. I'm sure there's bots out there that people make for themselves that work. People always say like the bots that people put out, they're not always as sharp or constantly updated. I don't know. I'm sure we can make a bot, or I can make a bot for myself with the way we trade over the years. If this candle closes below 86, not 5 minute or even 1 minute, then we have FVG at that price too. Right. You're starting to lose me a little bit, but right. What's up, Jay? Well, it's just that I explain, like, I guess we don't get it yet. Like, I explain like what I'm looking for today, so I'm just waiting for like 9-9 to break or like 5-5 to break. Like in between, like I don't have much like info on, you know. So when you ask that question, like I can't really say much on it because it's not that it's invalid or valid. It's just there's nothing that's going on for me to look for ideas in that area. Right? Does that make sense? So I'm just waiting for it. Like literally, this is what I'm waiting for now. Like whatever early we took was like non-directional, so we don't need that much liquidity and stuff to form. But as the session goes on, you're assuming that the next upcoming move is gonna be more directional for the day to play out, right? You haven't had that move of the day yet. Like I wouldn't consider these moves of the day, right? I think these are just ranges. So what's next is gonna be something more directional. So that's why, like for me, it's like I'm waiting for just this to break. Like there's nothing that I'm looking for within these areas. So I can't put much input into them, right? Otherwise, I'm just making stuff up. Like I wouldn't know. So if it breaks 9-9, are we looking for sell too? I think another sell we can probably take above 9-9 would be maybe like wick entry sells, because you would expect a retracement. But if this is the directional move, the direction move would be a lot bigger than a non-directional move, which means that you could likely surpass 9-9, right? Depending on how much you pull back here, 4-hour candle could still flip, but you ever got a pullback earlier, right? So if this continues to come down, and then let's say it comes all the way down like this towards these areas, and then afterwards it makes its way up, right? Like so, towards like 4606. At that point, like look how big the pullback is. Like this will be your liquidity for this entire push. Going up. So then maybe you can look for ideas well above 99. Maybe here in these ranges. That could be a wick entry sell. Right, but that's gonna be really far. So then you can start looking for buys above 45.99 for that range film. All right, you get closures like this, back into the ranges, and then you get continuations. Chances of daily flip. I think someone else asked that too. I think I'll say like 25-30% chance that it could flip with where we stand right now. If you start breaking below 5.5, if that can happen early into the 11 a.m. candle, then I think much higher chance, maybe 50-50 then. But with where you're sitting, maybe 30%. You got levels to break, right? You got to break through here, then you got to break through here, you got to break through here, and all that. You might get an entry 10.52. I want to see a 7.44 break first. Wait, what are you looking for, Space? Sup, Cookie? I just joined. What are you looking for? You're in a trade? No, we're just waiting. We're literally waiting still for 45.99 to 45.66 or 45.55 actually. Waiting for this to play out in this range because I don't know what's gonna go on in this range, right? So waiting for that to kind of pan out. That might not even be today, or maybe not even today's session. That could be Asian, that could be London, that can be whatever session, but yeah. Just waiting for that to kind of break out, give us a sense of volume, some direction. And then once that's going, we'll start looking for more positions and hunting. But clearly, right, it's just been ranging since we took the trade earlier. So I didn't think it'll range for this long. I thought you'll pick up by now. Chat, put a 1 if you thought price was gonna pick up today before like 11. Like I think we moved at what, 8 earlier, like on the first initial pop. I thought we'd just be out by like 10. So 44 break. Three minutes, I guess. 1 hour closure. Could be doji. We'll find out here. And it's still early in the week too, so we still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? Already 2 trades for the week. So maybe this could be the week. Like, what was the most we've taken in a week since we came back? Maybe 3 trades? I think 3 trades was the most we had. Then we almost had 400 today. We had 380. All right, 1 hour closure. I think you have maybe a leg candle closure right here on the 1. So 1 hour closure, 1 hour strong bullish closure. So how many? That's a 1 hour leg candle. That's the 4 hour leg candle. That's the 30 leg candle. Yeah, a lot going on here. A lot of leg candles. So let's see. Are we gonna get a correction? I think the leg count takes you all the way through here. Body reaction is right here at 78. So I think we'll I think what I'll do is I may place a session stop loss up here. So if that breaks, we'll call it a day. But I think for the buys, if we're looking for buys, we're not looking for them until 99, right? So I don't know how long that's gonna take until you make your way up above 99, and then after 99, you gotta create like higher lows, create structure to continue going up. So I think it might be best if we set up there, unless you want to be here a little late in the session, which you could. But yeah, I'll place it right there. If that breaks, we'll call it a day, okay? It's 11 now. And we had a trade. What's up, Jordy? How's stream, Jordy? Why don't you trade US 30 anymore? US 30, let's take a look. Yo, that looks like gold right now. Same type of movement. All right, 1 hour and 30, US 30. So sometimes they might not be correlating against each other. Like in this case, they're just moving together. So it's not always gonna be the opposite. I'm sure when news comes out, that's when they'll kind of split up. So maybe NFP Friday. But this looks very similar. Same concept, same ideas. I think maybe US 30 has the bottom wicks already. All right, you see this bottom wick? That's what we're waiting for on gold. Gold hasn't printed that yet. Gold's like basically right here right now. Right? That's where you are on gold. So that could be next. Yeah, top wick here. 1 hour opened up, bottom wick, top wick. Let's see. Is it gonna break? Are we gonna break? 2 important highs and lows now though. What I prefer, the music is such a lo-fi DMCA on Spotify. Market, I think driving. I prefer driving, but I don't always get trades in the driving condition. Like usually when we're driving, like we don't get much. Like I prefer driving, but we also get more in ranges. Right? You can kind of see here, like when it dries, like I'm not really. Maybe it'll change this time. So even on this drive up, we had 1 trade, 2 maybe. Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys prefer? Do you guys get more trades in a range market or a drive market? I think because you spend a lot of time in the range. Like you usually spend like more time in the range than drive, and then when you drive, it's just kind of like a quarter of what the range was. So it's very short-lived. And you're just like starting to adjust to driving conditions, so you're not like prepared. At least it's how it is for me. I'm guessing that's why we don't get a lot of trades. Barcode, yeah, barcode. Higher time frame is like just like even this on the daily. Like this is a 1400 pip range, so it's a very massive range. And it's very tradable. For you driving, yeah. Yeah, maybe this time I would change. We'll see. We haven't had a drive condition since we came back yet. All right, so session stop loss is up at 86. I think I'm gonna move it down to here, and then we'll call it a day. If that breaks 84, we'll trail the session stop loss. So you're supposed to get a timeout yesterday for 30 seconds. It wasn't supposed to be an actual timeout. I just wanted to clear the messages, so my fault. I apologize. Why are you planning to call it a day when we break that high? Is it because it's too choppy to the left side and not looking for buys? No, I think because our buys are very high up. They're up at 99. So to make your way up there, it may take a while. I don't think it's because this is not clean. I think I'm looking for more ideas above here, because that's gonna break the structure for me. So I prefer once that breaks. But from here up, I think it's very possible if you're looking for ideas above here. This is a range here, right? So you can get that range fill. But for me, it's like if you break, that's 150 pips to go, and it's 11. And then you gotta also create structure too, right? So you won't just come up straight. You might come up and pull back, hold, and once that's settled, that's our ideas. But you know, that might take a long time. If it was 8 still, you know, we'll be here for sure. But it's 11, right? So I usually get more aggressive with the session stop loss nearing 11. I have a sell stop on the breaker, the previous 32 to fill this 1 hour leg. Break of a 30. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a nice leg count. That's like 100 pips. And you have the 4 hour leg count too. That's like 210. If you want to try runners. Shit, we might be in the same trade if this doesn't break 84 here. GJ, what's GJ doing? Let's see. Let's check out GJ. Same thing too. Similar. Wow, what was this? April 30th. Damn. 600 pip pop. This is GJ all-time high, right? Oh no. Damn. A little bit of structure here. Got a little bit of structure here. Got clean traffic. Could it be 224? Daily needs a top wick so that can re-break, and I think that's the weekly flip or monthly flip. Monthly breaker to highs. Above here, clean traffic. You can probably put a line right here. If you want to wait for the second re-break, you could in a higher time frame. But for that to break, pull back, hold, and then you should make your way up. Maybe a little lower though, towards here. Could be a pretty good target. But you want to see that break, right? That's pretty cool. On GJ. Gold still at the flip area. Let's see, could this be it? Spreads are getting a little better, I think. If you can break below 74, that'll be nice. That might be it, chat. I think. I don't know if we're gonna move here. Maybe 11:30. Well, I think that might be it. I think we're gonna call that a day, guys. 15 closed there within the range. You have a little wick fill. Maybe you can fill the wick now. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. We're gonna be back tomorrow, okay? 8 a.m. East tomorrow. I think that's my session. I thought we'll get a second trade today. I'm not gonna lie. We took the first one at 8:20. I was like, yeah, we have 9, 10, 11. So nothing has happened since, really. Kind of ranged up. Maybe Asian could be pretty good tonight. London could be pretty good. And then maybe you can set up tonight for tomorrow to move. That'll be nice too. But yeah, that'll be it for the session, you guys. If you guys enjoyed the stream, hit the like button, hit the sub button. I appreciate y'all for being here today. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, okay? 8 a.m. East. Peace out, everybody. Take it easy.